Hello, everybody. This is the first recording of the Marauder Podcast, and let us each introduce ourselves. I am Avant. I basically started Marauder Podcast and other Marauder media productions, and the two guys joining on my right.
Well, my name is Sajal Shrestha. I've been friends with Avant for a very long time, and my favorite team would be Tottenham. So I'll be talking a lot about Tottenham, I guess.
Alright, so I'm Kabindra and I brew beer. I'm also Avant's friend from, how long has it been?
I guess 10 years
Yeah,
now.
10 years
or
now.
11 years.
And I'm fairly sure I'm drunk.
Anyways, let's get to the topic. Today we're talking about the football season that has just gone by, the transfer rumors, and a little bit about what's happening in Nepal and maybe internationally as well. So let's get to the point.
First thing that let's talk about our favorite teams for in the past season. So starting with Kabindra.
Yeah, I mean, like I've always said, I am very, very excited to see Tottenham play.
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham have just been improving and they've been better and better every year. And this year, I feel even better than Chelsea, even better than Real Madrid. I thought Tottenham played some really, really classy, fast-paced football.
Well, for me too, Tottenham have been improving, and this year was very close to the glory thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, Tottenham and then Real Madrid.
Yep, Real Madrid. That was going to be my choice, Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid has been the best team over the past 18 months or so. The inclusion of Zinedine Zidane as the coach has been phenomenal. Back-to-back Champions League victory. We've never seen this in the Champions League era, and this is quite the first thing. And I'm really, really impressed by how everyone in the team is gelled so well and played so well.
Yeah, speaking of Real Madrid, isn't it amazing that a bald, old legend B-team coach comes up into the A-team and transforms the team into winning La Liga and the Champions League? I mean, like Pep Guardiola did at Barcelona.
Well, but if I was in Zidane's place, it would have been an easier job for me too, because the players themselves are quite good, and Ancelotti have set it in such a good fashion that anybody who replaces Ancelotti should have done. But then a stupid fuck came, Benitez.
Yes, that's
He
what I
screwed everything, but Zidane knew what he.
Hey, I mean, Benitez is a good man.
I'm sorry.
Let's just
Liverpool guy,
Yeah.
so sorry.
Benitez, he's just lucky. He's just lucky in a lot of aspects. But I think there was an article about Paolo Bandini or someone. It's a really good article. When Benitez came into the Real Madrid, he was one of those players who never reached the topest level, and it was very difficult for him to teach the likes of Ronaldo, Iker Casillas, if he was there, Sergio Ramos, how to defend, how to shoot a free kick, or even how to score a goal. But on the other hand, when Zidane came, all the players had respect for Zidane, and I think the lack of respect Benitez suffered was his main catalyst.
That makes a fool. But we've been following Benitez for a very long time,
Mhm.
and then for me, Benitez is not a league manager. He is a cup manager. That's how Liverpool won their glory final. I always thought that Benitez is a cup manager rather than a league manager.
I do agree that he's a cup manager, but he's not really an inspiring manager, and I can, admit to that at least. And even Steven Gerrard has, come out in his autobiography, and he said that Benitez comes out as cold. And when you have superstars who are used to getting motivated and everybody looking up to them and, cheering them on, and you have Benitez who's all cold and calculating numbers, statistics, maybe that did not work out for him.
As a Liverpool fan, what do you think he told the players in Istanbul 2005?
I don't think he said anything, because he just said, you guys are not doing a great job in the half.
Think so, yeah.
And it was Steven Gerrard who motivated the players.
I think it was Gerrard who picked up everything and then did his job.
For a Milan's fan over here, if you didn't know, Steven Gerrard did absolutely nothing. Benitez did absolutely nothing. What happened was Milan players celebrated too early, and Gattuso, our main metrodome at the moment, started drinking champagne way too earlier. So
Like
I
at the
guess-
halftime.
Who knows? That's my theory right now.
But
That's
Xavi
my
Alonso
theory.
was the star of that game.
Oh yes.
True.
Xavi Alonso. He took the penalty instead of Gerrard. He gave a very fabulous pass to one of the players. Well, summing that up, who do you think was your best player? Your goalkeeper, midfield, Let's talk about goalkeepers first.
To be honest, I don't have a lot of thought on the best goalkeeper last season. I don't know. I'd go with Lloris.
Lloris?
Yeah.
How about Buffon? What about Buffon?
Yeah, for me, it would be a tie between Buffon and
Hugo Lloris.
Hugo Lloris.
Okay.
Hugo Lloris, for the absolute saves that he made.
Mhm.
He has the least number of goals, even lesser than I guess the Chelsea guy. I guess.
Yeah.
Courtois.
Yeah.
Courtois, sorry.
And
Mhm.
Buffon, pure respect, 40-year-old guy.
Yeah.
True, one club man.
Doing his jobs, and he's doing his job in a very good way. I
Definitely.
feel bad. I mean, if it wasn't for Real Madrid and somebody else would have stood against Juventus, I would have voted for Buffon picking up a Champions League. But then I'm so
Yes.
sorry, man. Real Madrid first love. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Buffon, he had a tremendous season. I don't know the exact stats, but like Buffon, he has 50% clean sheet rate. That's phenomenal in this department. But apart from Buffon, like
Buffon is such a good player that I don't even remember who was a goalkeeper earlier than Buffon before
Juventus.
yeah, I mentioned this earlier, but anyone remember the name Francisco Toldo?
Oh,
Toldo,
right.
Toldo. Now I remember Toldo.
Yeah, how can we forget Toldo? But then you have Buffon and
Yeah.
I think Toldo was in 1998 World Cup too.
Yeah, he was.
He was,
Yeah.
and Toldo at that moment wasn't old. He was just reaching his prime, and Buffon just came. This 19 or 20-year-old at the time, just took Italy by storm, and for the past 20 plus years, he has been the focal point, the wall at the back.
How long do you think he lasts?
I'll give him a season or two. Maybe next season. Juventus is gonna have a lot of competition next season, I hope. But after that, I think it's done. After the World Cup is done.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so defense.
Well, as if you guys are football fans, you probably already know that Liverpool fucked up in the transfer market right now with Virgil van Dijk, and there's a reason that everybody wanted Virgil van Dijk, and he's been amazing
Yeah.
this past season. What do you guys think? What do you think, Sajal?
Well, while playing fantasy league, I always consider that guy in my team. So
Yeah.
he is one of my top picks for sure. But then, talking about the best defenders, I would like to talk about the Tottenham defender, the right backs and the left backs.
Okay.
But then somebody who's very old and still doing a good job would be Dani Alves, for sure.
Daniel,
Mm,
of course.
Dani Alves.
I mean, the number of trophies that guy has. I mean, from his Sevilla days to the Barcelona glory days,
Mhm.
and then Juve and even Brazil. So he's done a good amount of good deeds in football.
True.
Absolutely agree with you. I have to say Daniel Alves and the other side, his compatriot from the Brazil team, Marcelo. They
Mhm.
both have a great
Mhm.
season, and
Ramos, I didn't mention Ramos, but Ramos was awesome this season too. He played like a captain. I mean, he played
Yeah.
like a captain. Every 93 minute he had scored a lot of goal in 90 during post 90-minute goals where.
Ramos is a great captain, and he's a pretty good footballer. I'm not discounting that. But as a pure defender, I do not think, he's a great defender. He riles people up. He's a Real Madrid man now. He's a captain. He's there for the team there. But I don't know.
he's that one of those fiery character you would love in your team, but absolutely hate to be playing against.
Exactly.
Of course.
That's why he has 3 Champions League now, 2 as a captain, right?
Yeah.
Good thing for them.
So what about midfielder then? Moving on.
Midfielder. For me again, I'll talk about Eriksen again. He's the playmaker of the team. His passes are so smooth. I mean, he can see people. For me, he's the Fabregas of the prime Fabregas. When Fabregas was in his prime, oh my God, man, he could see things that God couldn't see, and gave such a fabulous through balls and passes. And now Eriksen, I mean, he knows the game. He knows the game, and he knows his surrounding. Dele Alli and Harry Kane are quite familiar with him. So I think Eriksen would be for me. And by the way, Eriksen says that I would be loyal to Tottenham.
Okay,
If Barcelona gives me a call,
Yeah.
it would be difficult to say
Okay.
no.
Wow.
And that was where I was leading to. Like, do you think Eriksen might go to Barcelona? Because Barcelona's transfer last season was horrible. None of their high-key market signing lived up to the expectations. So do you think Eriksen might have been the...
I think it'll be too sooner for Eriksen to go there. I mean, I'm not saying he's not reached that level, but then winning few trophies and getting used to few trophies would make him a good Barcelona player for sure. And I don't remember any Danish guy doing good for in a Spanish team. I don't remember any of them. But Danish people are quite good when they play the fast English football. So, and Rakitic and Eriksen are in the same position. Why would they want to collide to the biggest superstar of the future?
Sergio Busquets cannot run as much as he can before, and Iniesta is getting pretty old.
Iniesta needs a replacement, so they are seeking for Eriksen. They are seeking Eriksen for that. But then I think Argentinian people or a Spanish guy would be more suitable in that position rather than a Danish guy.
Well,
your midfield pick would be?
My two midfield pick would be Paulo Dybala from Juventus. I'm gonna bring him a little backwards because the other strikers that we might mention later are phenomenal. But Paulo Dybala this season has been amazing for him.
Well, I didn't pick Pablo Dybala because I've read a lot about him. I've seen very less about him because you don't staying in Nepal. You don't get to see a lot of Syria.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, Dybala, you hear that a lot, but I have not watched a match.
Yeah. Okay. So only the matches, only the Champions League are the only matches. But he's been phenomenal. Even the French guy, the young French
Mbappe.
guy.
Mbappe,
He's phenomenal. I mean, whatever I've seen in the Champions League is phenomenal.
Yeah, I never watched the French league either, but he has been quite good. And about Paulo Dybala in the Serie A, Roma and Napoli had the best season they could have, but yet Roma, I think 87 points was their historical record right now, highest record, and still it wasn't good enough to beat Juventus. And the squad level, the depth level that team has is second to none. In the midfield, Paulo Dybala, and even after the sale of Pogba, yes, the team is still so good, and it's hard to see any other team beat that Juventus midfield. But obviously we saw someone beat them, which is Real Madrid. And my second player would be Isco. A surprise, a very established player, but surprisingly amazing player this season.
Surprisingly better than the others. He was better than the other. That's the main point. Casemiro and Isco were phenomenal in their position. So, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with home club Liverpool. Yeah, no, but we are so stacked in midfield.
If it's anybody else from Mane, then I'll be so surprised.
It is. Because, everybody talks about Mane, and he's had a phenomenal first season. Nobody talks about Gini Wijnaldum, even though he has had a pretty good season in red, tracking back. Coutinho is a magician, and Firmino I wouldn't count because he's a forward now, but the best midfielder of all time. You know the name.
Adam Lallana.
No, Adam Lallana is such an amazing midfielder. That's why, Pochettino wants him back at Tottenham. There are rumors of him being approached by pretty much every big club because he can run. He can run like nobody. He can pass like nobody. He has, 9 goals or something this year and about 7 assists. And that too from all the way back. He has one of the highest chances created in a stacked Liverpool midfield.
One other thing that I like about Lallana is, this guy represents England and he's doing pretty good. I mean, England has not that good of a midfield lineup, but then Lallana stands up from everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
He's definitely good. He's making his position for a very long time.
True, and it's a testament to him that being a traditional number 10, he's tracked back and now he's a chance creator, which allows, Henderson when he's fit, or Shan when Henderson is not, to bomb forwards and backwards and, clear the line, long range passing. Whereas Lallana creates chances, makes little runs. I mean, you wouldn't say he is an Englishman. I mean, he plays like, a Spanish person sometimes with those little runs and those little tricks.
He's a little faster. Would you mind if Lallana uses number 8 from next season?
I wouldn't, but I would doubt he takes it.
I don't think he will take it, but then the responsibility for that number 8 is a big deal. So
who has number 8 for Liverpool right now?
Nobody does.
Nobody.
Yeah, nobody wants to touch it. I mean, Danny Ings, almost got it because he used to play number 8.
That's few legendary numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's this one time where Valencia wanted to join the Club 7 number.
Well, he did. He did for a while, and then he said it.
He did. I couldn't stand up. So he came back to his 25.
Yeah, his
Okay.
game actually bombed after he got the number 7. I guess it was too much responsibility.
The pressure is so much.
Who wore number 7 again? Only Ronaldo, right?
No,
Beckham
and Beckham.
Cantona. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a big
Then
pressure.
The replacers were Michael Owen was
Okay.
there, and then the French guy. After that, the young French guy, Memphis.
Memphis Depay is Dutch.
Oh yeah, he is
He
Dutch.
does play
yeah,
for a
yeah.
French club right now.
True.
He's Dutch. Is he coming back, by the way?
I think he is.
He's on a loan move, right?
To
So
Lyon?
He's coming back.
I don't think he'll make much of a difference in Manchester United now. Maybe the Manchester United, they have so much money right now, they can buy anyone they want. Why would they want to invest on their field ex-player again?
See, that's the thing with Manchester United now and all these big clubs now. There's no chance of getting back into the team. It's all about buying, and that's it. And Depay, if Mourinho didn't want him last season, why would he want him this season at
Of
all?
course, but I feel for that guy. He's such a good player. I mean, for the Lyon, the club Lyon, he's doing phenomenally.
See,
good.
he should have gone to Liverpool when we were looking for him. Went to United instead.
Well, he should not have come to Manchester. That's what I'm saying. And your top strikers, who would you pick?
The sad thing is, strikers. I don't know. I want to say Daniel Sturridge, but he's never fit.
Oh my god! Oh, that's something that I didn't expect.
Daniel Sturridge. Natal, I think you're still drunk from last night.
Yeah,
But in all seriousness, I mean, Kylian Mbappe, I mean, his name came up before, and I don't watch League 1, but League 1. But I don't know. Everybody's talking about him. He did great for Monaco. Every Champions League game I watched for Monaco, it was great. Him and, what's the other guy's name? For...
Ramdal Falcao.
No. The other guy in midfield for Monaco was performing exceptionally well this year.
I forgot.
Fernandinho.
No.
No.
Anyway, but yeah, Mbappe for me.
Yep.
Well, I'll talk about a complete player which is Cristiano Ronaldo for
Oh.
sure. I mean, Ronaldo was a beast again. Finally,
Yeah.
it was completely his performance, and then I'm very happy that this year again we'll be taking one more Ballon d'Or. The stakes are 5 out of 5. So I wish next year some other alien comes up and then changes this fashion, this cult call, Ronaldo versus Messi.
Messi, yeah. Maybe Dybala.
Yeah, maybe Dybala.
Maybe Coutinho.
Maybe Coutinho.
If only Griezmann had done something better this season. If he has switched a club, then he'll probably be a higher ranked player.
Hey, isn't that crazy? He's not gonna switch this year either.
Yeah, he's doing something exceptionally bad. Is it because that Atletico Madrid are not supposed to sell players too?
Yeah.
They're not supposed to
They
buy
have a
players
transfer,
for sure.
transfer embargo.
They
for
have
a
a
while.
ban in transfer, but they're not supposed to sell too.
No, they
can
can sell. The players can leave, but somehow Griezmann doesn't want to.
Okay.
And Atletico gave him more money every week to stay under the year, I think.
For my pick of the strikers, you guys have to look at Serie A. People call it a boring league, but this year, the strikers over there has been banging goals. Higuain, after his 80 or something million pounds transfer to Juventus, he has been continuing his form, banging goals for Juventus. Hence, they won the league. And Edin Dzeko, Edin Dzeko, total
City
flop
reject.
at Man City, yes, and he has reclaimed his career back in Roma. And the third person I want to nominate for the striker is Dries Mertens, the little Belgium. Not a household name, but every year he just kept on improving with 10 goals from midfield.
I don't even know where he plays.
Left striker, left winger.
Where? Roma?
Napoli.
Oh, Napoli.
And this season he has scored 34 goals
Wow.
in all competition, and this comes from a team that doesn't have a striker. So Jose Callejon, Insigne, and Dries Mertens all had to contribute goals from midfield.
Wow. See, that's the crazy thing about Serie A and all these goals now and all these great strikers that they have. I read this statistic somewhere that, it's pretty well known that, we all talk about Bundesliga for physical and, Premier League for physical and a lot of goals and excitement, and Serie A for goals, but La Liga, sorry. we never talk about Serie A for excitement,
Yeah.
exciting football, but this year apparently the statistics show that they have the highest goals scored for and against of any league.
That's cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep, it is.
Somebody who's not famous but then who played exceptionally good, whatever I've seen. Have you guys noticed a player called Jesus? The Brazilian guy who was brought during the January transfer.
For City?
City,
Yeah.
That guy has a very good foot.
Potential, yeah.
He can keep a ball for a longer time. He's a normal Brazilian. I mean, what Ronaldinho could do, he can do somewhat. I mean, if Guardiola can make him a better superstar, please, I would like to see a lot from him.
I want to see more Brazilian
But
striker.
then he's got injured for like 3 more months. That's sad.
What's with this Brazilian getting injured way too early? Brazilian strikers, there were so many of those players who came up to Europe hoping to be the next Ronaldo, the original, Ronaldinho and all, Rivaldo, and never fulfilled their promises.
Who else?
There are a lot of them.
Yeah. Enough with good players. Let's talk about the disappointment of the season.
Okay.
Who do you think? Who do you, let's take a vote. I'll vote for Pogba. Anybody else would vote for Pogba?
With that much money spent, I'd vote for Pogba too.
I'm talking about the money too. Yeah, with a lot of money spent and then a shit performance.
I like Pogba. Because the thing about it is he has done nothing wrong because he played exactly the same what he did in Juventus. The the problem with the media right now is media and people over here, people like us, is we don't get to watch Serie A that often, and when we do get to see Serie A, we just see the Pogba boom goals, the highlight reel. And I have watched quite a fair bit of Juventus game, and he is not the impact player. He is the impact player. He wins you 10 matches, but you need, as Ferguson says, you need other shit players to win the 28 matches to win the league. And he's certainly a big impact player, but I think he has been victim of the hype machine.
Victim of the price tag, I'd say.
That too.
But not just that. I mean, Pogba was a very big star, and before the season started, Euro Cup was in the same year, right? So he performed quite shitty. Euro Cup was all Griezmann and then Kante, Griezmann, Payet, and these players were the troop who took them to the finals. Unfortunately, King Ronaldo had some magic done, but then for the next 1 year, I think Ronaldo is. I'd call him. This is his prime for sure.
Yeah.
This is arguably the prime season for Ronaldo.
And I mean, crazy rumor that I read this morning. It's on goal.com, so I mean, not shitting on goal.com, but probably shouldn't believe that.
It's a pretty reliable source.
Very reliable. It was talking about how because of some tax issues, Ronaldo wants a move away from Real Madrid immediately. Anyway, we can talk about that in a bit.
Where do you think, if Ronaldo leaves, where do you think he might go?
Galaxy?
Or
China. Back to Man United. I don't think he's going to go to China because he doesn't need the money.
He's going to stick into Europe for sure.
Yeah.
For Europe, but then any club you talk about, you'll be asking, would he suit there? Can they afford Ronaldo? Anybody, even a club like Bayern Munich. Oh my God, would he suit?
Yeah. I mean, he's an ex-cum, but I'd still love him at Liverpool. I mean, he's Ronaldo,
Come on. Manchester player back.
I don't think Liverpool can pay the wages for Ronaldo. I love him at AC Milan too,
and
but
the correct Liverpool team, I don't think Ronaldo would choose Liverpool for sure.
Yeah.
But then he might come back to, if he wants to stay in England, he should come back to.
Once a scum, always a scum.
Do you think Zlatan was a flop this season?
He wasn't.
I don't think so.
He was an amazing player, and a lot of people would agree.
Okay, I agree that he had a long injury run, but then whatever he performed, one of his goals are goals of the season, right?
Almost, yeah.
Okay. Oh no, that was Mkhitaryan. I'm so sorry. But then Zlatan played.
See, the thing is, a 10+ goal striker in the Premier League is rare itself. It's very hard to score in the Premier League, even being the striker. And for him to come at 35 years of age, after playing in, slower leagues.
34 or 35?
35 this year, yeah. And I believe, correct me if I'm
wrong.
wrong.
So was it a free transfer to Zlatan?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so for the price what they paid, Zlatan performed pretty good then. For a price of 0, he got like 2 trophies and stuff.
And lot of people still are not impressed about Pogba and Zlatan, but at the same time, Manchester United are still having a subpar season from what they used to, what they're used to. But even in their worst season, they still won 3
Yeah.
trophies, and Liverpool won how many? They're calling it the Scouser treble, right? Scouts treble.
What?
The 3 trophy that Man U won.
Well, it doesn't count anyways.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess no comments from the Liverpool fan right now.
No comments from the Liverpool fan right now, but we're building a great team, and there's always next year.
Next year, Anfield should be called next year. Zlatan, sad story about Zlatan. He's off till January of 2018, I guess. So Manchester are giving away Zlatan, and I wish, man, there would be improvement for getting injury free or something like that. In Nepal, there are no chances. You're talking about some hospital, right? Cure some.
Yeah,
injuries.
I got injured playing futsal in my.
Oh, it was you who got
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah.
So-
I can walk now, but it turns out I can't play for a while. I was playing futsal in my own futsal, kickoff futsal at Sitapaila, so I got injured and I could not walk for a couple of days, but I went to the orthopedic.
Orthopedic, yes.
Yeah. I always get that confused by orthodontist, but anyways, I
Where?
went
Where
in
was
Grande Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've been there before
Mhm.
for plantar tendonitis on my foot, and they do have the best ortho department
Alright,
in
nice.
Kathmandu.
They didn't pay for us, but we're still promoting them. Nice.
Product placement. Right there.
Alright, let's talk about Champions League. You guys saw the finals, right?
Right.
Both of you. The first half, for me,
Hmm.
nice. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it was a good first
But the
half.
second half was completely one-man army. I mean, one-team army.
One team.
I couldn't see much of the stripes.
No.
I was
Did he go
surprised
and
that
play? Did he go and play in the final?
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yes, he did.
I didn't see him. For the
I
entire
saw him.
I saw him a little bit in the first half,
I saw
but
him in the 70 minute when he was going to be substituted. Champions League final was not pleasant to watch for a non-Real Madrid supporter, but for a Real Madrid supporter, I was.
yeah, I'd say it was a pretty boring final
Yeah.
overall.
compared to last year. Last year was like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Last year
Wait,
was very
last year
good.
which one was it? Atletico versus?
Atletico.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was in the
of course.
penalty. Ronaldo played shit, but then still got in
Yeah.
the final, scored the goals and stuff.
No, I'd say last season Casemiro was the man of the match in the final,
Mhm.
and same as this year.
Mhm.
This year, he did one extra by scoring a goal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Casemiro is a good buy.
Yep,
And
definitely.
This guy was a good buy.
Right.
No, and that's what I'm talking about. Casemiro and Pogba. I feel Casemiro and Pogba are the same player, and just because the price tag is so high on Pogba, people forget that he's not a striker. He's a box-to-box defensive midfielder.
Mhm.
See, that's the thing. I mean, what he was hired for, he didn't do well.
Mm-hmm.
And for that price tag, definitely not. I mean, Pogba, I would never claim, and especially because, he's a scum. But I would never say, I ever rated Pogba as the best box-to-box midfielder in the world. But with that price tag, you better well be, at that point.
Of course,
How much-
anybody who would pay should perform. I mean,
Yeah.
Gareth Bale was paid somewhat,
He performs.
And he performed.
and then he brought two glorious champions,
Huh.
One Champions League and then one Copa del Rey.
Yeah.
Single-handedly, man.
Yeah,
Single-handedly. Even in the
destroyed
final,
Bartra's
yeah,
career, right?
Even in the final, he scored. The second goal was scored by him,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So the second goal is obviously the most
Winner.
important.
Yeah,
goal
to
of the-
seal it in,
yeah.
right?
So, and after that, Ronaldo and Marcelo did
Yeah.
just the cleaning up.
They just rammed Athletic Madrid the same way they rammed Juventus just a couple of weeks ago. And
What about this year? Who do you guys want to see during the semi-finals? Your four
Champions-
top picks.
I want to
Next
see
Champions
Liverpool.
You want to see Liverpool?
I feel like it-
will they be playing? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Hopefully. If we win the
If they-
playoffs.
if they win the playoffs, yeah.
But-
they will win the playoffs.
Yeah.
Even I like to see Liverpool because one guy told that seeing Liverpool, an Italian guy told, seeing Liverpool is having dinner without wine, something like that. Not seeing Liverpool.
Not
in
seeing
Champions
Liverpool
League.
in the Champions League.
Champions
Yeah.
League is something like that.
Yeah.
So I'll see my top four. Real Madrid would be there. Barcelona should be there,
Should be there.
and then the other two English clubs, I don't think. would
I think
be-
Man City is poised for greatness at this point. They're buying. They have a great coach.
They're supposed to, but then this term they perform shit. some
True.
shit happened during somewhere.
But they're going into FIFA mode right now, buying everyone in the market, and
Yeah,
they
pretty
do have
much.
the money for it.
Yeah, the market hasn't even opened, and they've already gotten so many signings. Like what, 3 or 4 now?
Yep.
At least, man, send few people. Don't keep them in the home. Pay a lot of money. At least send them to play in loans and stuff. The Belgium guy, Sané, right?
Leroy Sané, German.
He's a German.
Yeah, he's German.
Oh yeah, this guy has a lot of potential. At least send him for a loan deal somewhere.
But I think he's doing pretty good in Man City. And
He's doing
himself.
pretty good, but he never starts. He's a bench warmer. He never starts.
See, but that's the thing,
He's
though.
playing his games, but with the depth of midfield Man City has, no one is quite sure what went wrong with Man City, and at this moment,
They need to change, man. Silva needs to replace. I mean, it's okay. Silva was a good player, but then playing that position for a long time, he needs.
Yeah, he's not that consistent. I mean,
needs
he's
to be
amazing when
replaced.
when he's on. you know?
Jesus Navas is changing clubs. Jesus
Yeah.
Navas would be. Tottenham are very willing to sign him.
Wow.
So Jesus Navas would be there. Well, my 2 picks: Barcelona, Real Madrid, and who else? Bayern Munich, maybe by default, and one other club who will surprise me. I don't know.
Liverpool.
So
No.
let's just
I
say
don't expect Tottenham. Even Tottenham are there, but I
Yeah.
don't expect Tottenham on the biggest platform.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Maybe a season
True.
after that, maybe. Liverpool for sure. No, not for sure. Not for sure. If some miracles happen, not this season, maybe.
So let's just say it's a foregone conclusion. Next year, Champions League semi-final, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and most probably Juventus or otherwise Athletic Madrid.
Again, Napoli and
Napoli, yeah.
anybody
Anyone
can
can do it.
replace.
Anyone
man.
can do it.
Anybody can replace, man. Roma, Napoli, or anybody.
I'm not gonna watch the Champions League next year. So as a lot of Liverpool and Manchester United fan has been doing, I'm gonna follow the Europa League next season. Hopefully, we're gonna meet Arsenal, AC Milan versus Arsenal in this final, and
AC Milan takes it.
yeah, last time we played Arsenal, we beat them by 4-0. So maybe hoping the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we covered a lot about last season, and we're gonna move into more local topics into the Nepali national team. We played 2 games in the past week, one against India, one against Yemen, which was the Asian Cup qualification. Sajal, would you like to add something to this?
Yeah, Nepal. Even though Nepal have been winning for last season, they won a lot of trophies. But then, seeing Nepal play against India was pretty bad for me. I mean, it was men against.
sobering.
Yeah,
You know where you are.
men against boys.
Yeah.
It was just like men against boys. The first goal was a kid scoring
Yep.
a goal, and that was such a bad thing. In Yemen, I didn't see the match properly, but then it was 0-0, a goalless draw against Yemen. That was pretty good.
I'm not fully against it, but I have to be against it because Yemen is definitely a really, really good team, and to come up with a point against Yemen
Yeah.
that's very impressive. But at the same time,
Commendable, right?
but at the same time, the Yemen football team and the whole country has been devastated by the civil war for the past 2 years, and the team doesn't have a place to train, doesn't have a place to play, and the security, the level of security that these guys received over here was
Intimidating.
yeah, very intimidating, and one has to think that are these players are in the right mind to play a game, and even with that, Nepal not being able to capitalize on the psychological impact that the Yemenis players might have had is pretty
At home too.
At home is pretty horrible. But saying Nepali playing at home, it might have been somewhere else because Rangasala, our national stadium, is in the shitter. I think that's the best way to say it. So that's why the game was played in the APF Halcho ground near Swambu. And I wanted to go and watch the match, but there were only 700 capacity, and most of them were ENFA players, ENFA invitees, and diplomats, whatnot. And I guess when a game of this caliber is playing at home, you need to have the crowd.
I mean, yeah, crowd support has to say for something. I remember when we went to the Nepal-Bangladesh match in the SAF Championship, was it?
Yeah, it was South Asian Confederation Cup, was it?
Something like that, yeah. The crowd pushes a lot of players, into that zone. And, well, I mean, what can you expect with the India game? But yes, I agree with Avant that, Yemen was a disappointment, but India is 100 ranked, and we deserve that loss, I guess.
India went from more than 100 to less
Yeah,
than
137 to 100, and you look at the ISL and how it's progressed, where the ISL is developing homegrown players, and they're moving away from India now
Yeah.
to play in Europe, and you see what a good, rich home league can do for your players.
Well, that's a separate topic for a different day, I guess.
Yeah.
We are suffering from an economic crisis right now. Political situation is such fucked up right now, and we cannot expect our political or government to push football in this point.
Yeah, as an agenda.
So,
True.
but considering talking that, this generation of footballers are the best we've seen. This is
Definitely.
the best we've seen. They don't take money, they don't lose the match, and then after 1993, this is the most cup-winning team set. And plus, we've talked about this earlier. The short passes has improved. I think we would like to thank futsal.
Futsal, definitely.
Futsal.
I would like to give honorable mention to the coach Koji. Was it Koji or Kaji?
Something like that.
Yeah. The man's quite something, He definitely brings a lot of discipline, and we've seen quite a few videos that he's not that impressed by the country's situation in football, but I have to say his effort in taking the team from where it was to where it is very, very good.
Him, and we also have a director of sports, director of football, who's also Japanese, supporting the coach, which is great,
Well, what we can see is that they're doing their best, but even the best is not good enough right now. They have to do something better than the best, I guess.
True.
At least let's beat India for once, man.
Yeah.
Let's beat India at least, even if it's for friendly or if it's for a non-friendly match.
Yeah.
Let's beat the shit out of them. I'm so sorry, my dear Indian friends.
We all have a lot of Indian friends, and I think on their side, in terms of the football passion, the feelings are mutual.
True.
Well, one of us good troll that I saw was India winning. India concluding in 100th, and then it was written that in cricket they support a lot, and in football they don't support a lot, and even without that they have entered the 100th rank. What if they supported? And then this, oh my God! If India was into football, then
Wow.
then
An
come
Indian World Cup.
on, come on, they might do good.
Yeah.
In, some level at China or something like that. If they concentrated, they're not just concentrating. They don't. But then the situation is changing. The
Slowly, yeah.
the
The ISL,
ISL
Indian
and stuff,
Super
so-
League.
I'd actually love to see World Cup being hosted in India. We can just go there, watch, immerse ourselves in the culture as well. But I don't like the prospect of India being a good team, because for obvious reason. But
Yeah.
World Cup in India, that's a food for thought.
True.
Well, it's not happening for the next 20 years.
Yeah, we can guarantee that much for sure.
Well, we've talked a lot, I guess. I think we should conclude it now. Anything that you would like to add up?
Go Liverpool.
Go Spurs.
Go Nepal, I suppose.
Right on.
Alright, so saying that, let's end this podcast and Alright, we'd like to conclude it here. Thank you so much for listening to us. We'll be back with a new topic and a better presentation, maybe. Alright? So, thank you so much.